Have you ever stood in front of a cave painting and wondered about the life and times of the people who made it? Perhaps you've seen some of the more famous examples like those at Lascaux or Altamira and thought to yourself, what was going on in the minds of the people who made this? It's easy to dismiss them as just pretty pictures, but there's so much more to these paintings than meets the eye. In today's video, we're going to talk about how science helps us understand prehistoric art. But first, if you love anything to do with archaeology, history, or anything in between, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We bring you new videos every single day. It can be difficult to determine the true purpose of prehistoric art. After all, we have no written records from that time to help us interpret these pieces. However, by using scientific methods, researchers are able to get a much better understanding of not only the artwork itself, but also the people who made it and the world they lived in. One way that scientists learn about prehistoric art is by studying the physical pieces themselves. By examining the materials used, the technique, and the style, experts can often gain insight into the artist's intentions. For example, the cave paintings of Lascaux were created using a variety of different materials, including charcoal, ochre, and manganese. Each of these materials has a unique chemical composition, which can tell us something about the environment in which the painting was created. For example, the presence of manganese suggests that the paintings were created in a moist environment, while the use of ochre indicates that the artist had access to iron-rich materials. Another way that scientists study prehistoric art is by looking at the context in which it was found. By understanding the archaeological context of a piece, researchers can learn about the culture and society that produced it. For example, the Venus of Willendorf, a small statuette found in Austria, was discovered in a layer of sediment that also contained animal bones and stone tools. This tells us that the people who made the figurine likely lived in a time period when humans were still using stone tools and hunting animals for food. Additionally, the figurine itself was found in an area that was once a burial ground, which suggests that it may have been used in funerary rituals. One of the most exciting things about studying prehistoric art is that it can sometimes provide us with clues about the behavior and beliefs of the people who created it. For example, some researchers believe that the cave paintings of Lascaux were used as part of a religious or spiritual ceremony. The artist would have used the natural features of the cave, such as its darkness and its echo, to create a truly immersive experience. Others argue that the paintings were created as a form of record-keeping, a way to document the important events and figures of the time. But perhaps one of the most interesting things about prehistoric art is that it can sometimes provide us with clues about the artists themselves. By studying their work, we can learn about their skills, their creativity, and their imagination. We can also learn about the environments they lived in and the cultures they were a part of. There are many other ways that science is helping us to better understand prehistoric art. For example, new technologies are allowing us to create 3D models of ancient artifacts, which can then be used to study the artist's technique in greater detail. Other scientists are using chemical analysis to identify the pigments used in prehistoric paintings, while others are using anthropological methods to better understand the symbolism and meaning of the artwork. As technology continues to improve and as new discoveries are made, we can expect to learn even more about prehistoric art and the people who created it. Who knows? Maybe one day we will even be able to solve the mystery of why our ancestors first began making art. If you're interested in learning more about this topic, I highly recommend checking out the resources in the description below. With that said, thanks so much for watching.